1 year ago, the Maya train promised to revolutionize travel in southern Mexico, in particular the Yucatan Peninsula. Now, after taking 9 Maya train trips, covering every available open route as of December 12, 2024, has the train lived up to all the hype? Let's find out. Hey, what is good, Mexit planners? It is 5:50 a.m. on Wednesday the 11th, and I'm on my way to the Maya train station to complete my last journey of what's open on the Maya train from Cancun down to Tulum. So I'm going from Merida to Tulum today, and I'm gonna take you guys along with me. So let's go. It is 6:12 and I have arrived at the Merida Teya Station, which was roughly a 22-minute drive from my house here in the north part of Merida. And that's one of the things with the Maya train is it's not exactly in the city. So normally I would have taken the Va-Y-Ven, which is over here. And you can see they have the one that is ready. That one's here parked at the train station. And it's probably been here all night. It will get going once the first, I guess, train is scheduled to arrive in Merida. Now, they do have service from the IEA tram station in La Plancha, but I'm not sure exactly what time that would arrive here. And the train leaves at 7, so it's 6:15 roughly now. I could have driven, but I wanted to take an Uber this morning just to kind of see what that process would be like in the timing. And there's technically no overnight parking here, so we'll see. But we are well on our journey, and I'll keep you in the loop. One of the tips that I will give you is, although they have things that they serve on the train, get your snacks at like OXXO or what have you. That way you get exactly what you want. And it's been a while since I've been in this train station. Looks like they've, have more complete. They have a Maya train store, which is kind of cool. Hopefully this will be open when I come back. Probably not, because it will be a little late, but they have a Maya train souvenir store. This is the total route of the Maya train. And I'm gonna see if I can find maybe a paper map at one of the stations. But today we're going to be going from Merida to Playa del Carmen, and then we'll change over in Playa del Carmen and head down to the Tulum Airport. One of the things that we'll talk about, but that was the only way to get there. I could have gone Merida to Cancun and then took a train from Cancun to the Tulum Airport, but that's the only section I haven't traveled so far. So the next part of the train that's supposed to be open is from Tulum all the way down, completing the loop to Chetumal, all the way over to Escarcega. So I'll see if I can zoom in on this as we're talking about it, but just wanted to give you some idea of what the peninsula looks like and how far the train has gone. I've been down all the way down here, Palenque, Boca de Cerro. They were starting at the Merida station here. And so we're gonna go over to Puerto Morelos, Caribbean coast, and back down to Tulum Airport. So this is where we'll end, in Tulum. So I am in seat 3 in first class. This is one of the seats with the table in front. It's on the single passenger side. So unfortunately, I'm gonna be traveling with my back turned all the way to Cancun. So this is seat 3. Seat 6 would be facing the direction of travel. So hopefully if no one comes and sits in seat 6, which it didn't look like there was a lot of people here this morning, I will switch over and jump into seat 6. As I said before, things are much more improved in terms of the station being complete. It looks like all the platforms are open. In the previous trips, we've left from the middle platform, which is why we had to go down and up escalators to get to the middle platform. And now we are on the first platform. So that's a very big difference from a year ago, where things were just, you know, one platform and that's all that was available. Now all the platforms look to be complete at the Maya train station in Merida. All right, it is 7:01 and we are on our way. This train left exactly at 7 o'clock. And yeah, we're on our way. Next stop is Tishkokab. So right on time. Everything's running really smoothly and the seat across from me is empty, so I will be switching sides. All right, so we have arrived at the Chichen station. So this is the first time I've actually seen this station open. And we are, looks like it's mostly complete. They're just doing some touch up, maybe with glass and things of that nature, but definitely not a lot to see in one of the smaller stations. Like all the others, Tishkokab and some of the others, but there looks like a big building maybe off of the platform. So maybe that's where the welcome center is that they were talking about. But yeah, Chichen is completely open. It has been for a while, and there's nobody getting on or getting off. All right, we've made it to Cancun. The station looks complete. Although I do see them and I do hear some construction in the background. There's a little bit of work happening over on the other platform, but it is 11:25. So we've made it here within 3 hours and 25 minutes to the Cancun station. All right, so we are still in Cancun. It is 11:48. The layover here, I think, is about 35 minutes. And I guess it's not a layover, it's a rollover. The rollover here in Cancun is about 35 minutes or so before we head down to Tulum, to the Tulum Airport. Now, I'm not certain, I need to check my ticket, but I believe I have to switch over in Playa del Carmen. So this ticket is actually from here to Playa. So let me check and see if it is the same train, if it is train 301, because that's the train I am on now. So I will check that and get back to you in just a second. In fact, the train from Playa to Tulum is 6:03. So it looks like I'm gonna have to get off in Playa. I will probably, depending on the time that we get to Playa, I will probably go and check into my hotel and then come back to the train station for the ride to Tulum. All right, so one thing to point out, when we arrived in Cancun, we arrived, I actually swapped seats, but I was facing the direction that we arrived. We are leaving out of Cancun, headed to Playa, going back in the same direction that we came. So I guess the track splits at some point and goes towards Playa del Carmen, but it does not continue out past the Cancun station. It goes backwards towards the Playa station. Train left Cancun at 12 o'clock after, I guess, a 35-minute wait. And we are now headed towards Playa del Carmen with 2 stops in between Puerto Morelos and Playa. So we just arrived at Puerto Morelos. It is 12:20, so it only took 20 minutes to get here. But this station is way far in the jungle. You can't not see, I can barely make out a hotel at the station, like over the station. I can barely make out a hotel. So I don't want to guess, but I would say at least 15 to 20 minutes from the beach, maybe not that much, but at least 15 minutes. It is definitely very, very far. I'm not sure what the transportation system is to get you there. It's probably a cab, since there's no Uber or anything. So it's probably a cab to get there. So after leaving Puerto Morelos, the train has been going fairly slow. I mean, really probably 10 to 15 miles an hour down to Playa del Carmen, which is probably why it takes the amount of time that it does to get there. We passed I guess it's a workstation or substation where they're staging all the rail ties and things of that nature, probably for the rest of this route. So we are en route to Playa del Carmen. It is now 12:40. I'm not sure what time we're supposed to arrive. but it should be in the next 10 to 15 minutes, I would think. All right, so we are entering the station, and it looks like they have buses. So I don't know if you see the Train Maya buses there. They're gold and black. Let me make sure you can see that. So look like there are buses, or maybe those are for the workers, I don't know, but there is definitely a lot of construction still happening at this station and on the tracks. It looks like they're putting in a separate set of tracks. But we are rolling into the Playa del Carmen station right now, and it is 12:51. So everything has been right on time, no delays, and we are here. So this is the first part of the journey. The next part is down from Playa to Tulum Airport. See you there. So what's interesting about this, even a year later, people are really excited to take the train. And I just met a young lady who was 82. And this was a dream of hers to support the train project and to take a trip. She is from Sonora. So her granddaughter and her mom, her granddaughter and her daughter are on a trip with her so she could take the train, which was kind of cool. They got on in Cancun, and they are getting off here at Playa del Carmen. So she got to experience one of her ambitions, which was to realize a trip on the train at 82. So that's very, very cool. The coolest thing about taking the train is really the people you meet. I met awesome people today and their stories, first time taking the train, and just the stories that they had, you know, about their experience and how pleasant everything was is pretty nice. So the Playa del Carmen station is still under construction. It looks like it's going to be much bigger than, or much more capacity than what's available now, but it is definitely still under construction. They have like temporary seats here, and you can see the construction workers outside. So the next step is to really figure out how to get from Playa into the Playa del Carmen station into the city. So I'm going to be asking someone here in just a second, and then I have to get back to the train station to catch the next train to the Tulum Airport. So it is 1 o'clock. Maybe I should not leave. I need to figure this out. For 55 pesos, you can catch an IDO to the bus station. And it leaves at 9:25, 1:25, 3 o'clock, and 7:15. None of those work for me because I need to be back here by 2 o'clock. So 55 pesos get you into town on IDO, or see what the other options are. So just to give you an update, I was going to take a cab into the city and I was quoted 500 pesos. Another guy, can't remember their names, but the guys that I was talking to earlier that rode the train over from Merida, they were quoted 700 pesos. So be careful, the price does change depending on what you look like and if you speak Spanish and all that kind of stuff. But it is 55 pesos by IDO bus. And they have a ticket office right there. There's a line of people standing. If you can see over here, there's a line of folks getting a ticket over here. And it's 55 pesos. There's a set time that they leave, which is probably as each train arrives at the bus station. So they're scheduled to leave, I believe it was 1:25. It is now 1:10, and my next train leaves at 2:10. So I opted not to go into town. The guy said it was 5 minutes, but I opted not to go into town just because I think it would be pushing it to get back. So yeah, the train leaves at the IDO bus leaves at 1:25, 9:25, 5 o'clock, and 7:15. So that probably coincides with exactly when there are trains here at the station. And just another point, most of the stalls here are not occupied. As I said, this station is still under construction, but there is a Go Mart there, and there's a Gorditas place there that is open, but not a lot of food options. And that's about it. You could probably hear a bit of the construction in the background as well. So we are gonna wait around here for a few minutes to catch the train down to Tulum, which I'm not sure if it's the same train or a different one, but we'll wait and we'll see. Hey, I just got an update. It is 2 minutes till 2. My ticket says that the train leaves at 2:10 that I purchased with the Train Maya app. However, the train does not leave Playa del Carmen to Tulum until 3:10, and it returns at 5:10. Or it leaves the Tulum Airport at 5:10, headed back to Playa del Carmen, so 2 hours later. So I could have caught the bus or taken a cab into the city, checked into my hotel, and then returned had the timing been right. But I have another hour to wait, more or less, for the next train to leave to go to Tulum. So that is the only hiccup. Apparently the app doesn't adjust for timing, and it is off by an hour. So be aware of that if you use the app, that it will print the wrong time on your ticket, my virtual ticket, but the train doesn't actually leave. The schedule is at 3:10. So that is one of the hiccups right now. All right, it is 3:05. I am on the train from Playa to Tulum. As I said, they do things a little different here in that they board by coach. One of the things to point out on this trip that there were no first class seats purchased. So it is everyone that's coming from Playa to Tulum, they all booked coach seats. So I am in seat 27. This train is by no way means full. And it looks like you can buy tickets up to 10 minutes before the train leaves. So if you are considering going, by train to Playa to Tulum, you have up to 10 minutes before the train leaves, before they shut down the ticket sales. So that sounds like around 3 o'clock, or give or take, here in Playa. Now, I don't know if that's the same case for Merida. It used to be 2 hours before the train. But here, I guess because it's just such a short route, you got up to 10 minutes. Anyway, this train is scheduled to take 1 hour and 27 minutes to get to Tulum and to Tulum Airport. There is a stop in Tulum, so I will try to bring you that information once we get there. But if not, I will see you at Tulum Airport in 1 hour, 27 minutes. One of the benefits, I guess, of the switched up times or the delay is I have about 45 minutes between the next train. So won't have a lot of time in Tulum Airport as I originally thought I would, a couple hours, but it's a quick turnaround. All right, they just made the announcement that we're getting to the Tulum station. It is now 4:08. We should be arriving, I think, pulling into the station momentarily. And they announced not to forget your personal items. So. All right, I believe it's about another 20 minutes to the airport from here. And the Tulum station has plenty of parking. I would definitely say it has more parking than many of the stations. What an interesting roof they have in Tulum. It's like a wave. They just announced we are arriving at the Tulum Airport station. Make sure you grab all your things, which I am doing at this moment. Putting my phone in my pocket, and we should get there. So we're just a few minutes behind, but I have a quick turnaround down here. So I'll be in a hotel soon. It is 4:41, so this is arriving, I think, about 4 minutes off schedule. All right, platform is on the other side. We have arrived at the Tulum Airport station. And it is raining, so I'm gonna grab my stuff and head into the airport. All right. And I was wrong, by the way. Most of the folks, buenas gracias. Most of the folks that were on the cart that I was in, they got off at Tulum. So, bajo. All right, so the escalator's broken here. So we gotta take the steps, but this is the Tulum Airport station. Looks like they're painting one side of the steps as we're coming in. It's crazy. Interesting. And we're in the Tulum Airport. Wow. Seems really small. All right, this is the Tulum Airport. There's a Tren Maya bus. Huh. Yeah, this is definitely an airport. This is a small airport. Disculpe, ¿a dónde va de aeropuerto? 35 pesos. Oh, 35 para el aeropuerto. Ok.
Allá le cobran igual.
So, solo es de estación de Maya. Sí. Ok. Pero the actual aeropuerto es diferente.
Sí.
Ok.
Le cobran 35 pesos boleta allá.
Huh. Okay, so this is not the airport. This is the airport station. And it's 35 pesos to get to the airport. Interesting. ¿Cuántos minutos hay a la de aeropuerto?
15 minutos.
15? Okay.
¿Se va?
No, es solo así, sí. Regresan por tren, sí. Pero yo creo que esta es de aeropuerto, pero no, solo es de Tren Maya en el aeropuerto, 15 minutos. All right, so the train, this is just the train station. The airport is 15 minutes from here, so this isn't even the airport. So you got another 15-minute ride to get to the airport from the Maya train station. Kind of like in Cancun. So we will not be seeing the Tulum Airport because it's 15 minutes away and the train leaves in 40 minutes. So I'm gonna stay right here, make sure I don't miss that. Dun dun dun, big surprise. I was like, man, this is a small train or a small airport, but it is not indeed, it is just the airport station. And then you have 15 minutes away. All right, I thought there would be more to see, film the airport and all of those things, but apparently we are not at the airport. And the turn, it is now 5:02 and I'm already back in the chair, literally sitting across from where I was when I arrived. So really fast turn here. We'll be getting out of here in a second, and an hour, 27 minutes, I should be back in Playa del Carmen. See you then. Full 12 hours later, I've made it back to Playa del Carmen. The trip is complete. I have now taken every section that is currently available on the Tren Maya. I was counting on the train. It's 9 trips. I am 9 train trips in so far, and next year, I guess, or once the overnight train is open, I will take that. I don't see the IDO ticket person. That's not a good sign. Maybe she's out front. All right, let's see what the dealio is with this. I do have change, which is a good thing. And I don't see any cabs, so. ¿Cuánto cuesta? Otra vez, sí, otra vez. En este momento necesito, pero ¿cuánto cuesta?
¿A dónde vas?
De centro.
Al centro, mira.
34.
¿Vas a algún hotel? Sí.
¿Sí?
¿A qué hotel vas?
Al Aloft Hotel.
Ok, mira. El precio normal es de 500, pero te lo puedo dejar hasta en 400. Pero te llevo directo a...
400, let's vamos.
Sí, claro que sí.
Vamos. Another thing to know about Fifth Avenue is that there's a bus station like right here on Fifth Avenue, IDO bus station. So there are actually two. In fact, that's it right there, the bus station. I started this video, with the thumbnail, is the train a triumph or a tragedy? The train is still in its infancy. It's only 1 year old, but it's improving dramatically as each month goes by. Right now, 3 days from now, or as you're watching this video, you can go from Merida to Bacalar on the train, and that's impressive, right? The IDO bus system still offers more frequent and cheaper options when traveling across Mexico, and they've been around for many years, right? But the train is definitely gaining some ground. I found it interesting that one of the transportation options from Playa del Carmen was the IDO bus still, when you could have just taken the IDO bus to Playa del Carmen. But it's still a work in progress. I've met so many people on the train, and that has been probably the biggest benefit, I think, of taking the train. I thought about this while I was on the train. You don't really meet people. Occasionally you'll meet somebody flying. On a bus, you don't really talk to your neighbors too much, but everybody that takes the train is really taking it for the experience. So if you want the experience of taking the train, definitely do so. It's reliable. I highly recommend it. But people are taking it for the experience. The realization of folks taking it just for normal everyday transportation, I don't think has happened yet. And definitely I don't see a lot of locals taking the train to get from point A to point B as anticipated. There was a study or article that was published in the paper a few weeks ago that the train has only received like 19% of the forecasted ridership, but it's made a lot of trips and a lot of people have taken the train in this last year. Overall, I will give the score of the experience of taking the train a 3.9 out of 5. And it's just under 4 because there's some things they need to work on with the last mile. But I think the experience is definitely worth it. Have you ridden the Maya train? If so, leave me your comments below and let me know what you think about this review. What do you think are some of the improvements that need to take place if you've ridden the Maya train? Do you agree or disagree with this video? Drop me a comment below, and don't forget, subscribe to the channel because I will definitely be taking that long-term train and giving you my feedback once I do so. Thank you for all the incredible people that I met and for letting me share your photos in this video. The best part of the train is definitely the amazing people. If you want to know more about my previous experiences on the Maya train, check out the playlist over here. And until next time, MexitPlans Monty, I'm out.